Hi again, or if this is your first time seeing me, hello, nice to meet you. I'm Olivia Swinton and I was on The Voice Kids. A lot of people asked me why my name is Lilo on most of my social media. That is because that is my artist name. I release music under that name. You can check it out. I'll link everything in the bio. Today is Valentine's Day and I thought I would answer some of your guys' questions. I love you guys. Another special thing about today is I released this song about my sister. It's called Picture Mary. With those things out of the way, let's get on to your questions. QnA said, what made you want to go on The Voice Kids Australia? Being 9 years old, I wasn't too aware of musical competitive TV shows. I grew up in the church and I would sing hymns every Sunday. I got a guitar when I was young. I loved music so much. I remember it all started when I auditioned for Annie without any singing lessons or dance lessons, and I got to the final round. And I think that's when it kind of clicked that this is something that I could potentially be good at. So I practiced. I got singing teachers. The singing teacher that had probably inspired my mother or father to apply me for The Voice Kids was Shereen Peck, who I mentioned in my last video. She had me and one other of her students get into The Voice Kids, Jack Lyle. Yeah, Jack was like older than me. I mean, he was a way more experienced singer than me. I looked up to him quite a bit. So one night, I was in my pajamas. My dad was like, we need to film this video to submit. We'll see if it gets in. We don't know. So I threw on a dress and I sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I can play this video right now. Let me get it. So this was back in Melbourne and this was our living room. As you can see, I have like my pajama bottoms on underneath, and we just played the backing track on this speaker, but I'm just standing there. So this is a video that I submitted because before you go do your in-person auditions, you submit a video. But yeah, my dad was holding the camera, did a very good job with that. There's a lot of auditions before you get to the audition that's aired on TV. And then you have to go in and sing with a group of people, and then they pick out which kids from the group. Eventually you get onto the next round and the next round and the next round. They call you back hopefully, and then you get your chance to be on The Voice. Somebody else asked me, how do you apply? I'm just gonna do a Google. Do they still do The Voice Kids in Australia? I'm not sure if they still do The Voice Kids Australia. I was not aware that they were not doing this though. What? Oh my god, look at them, they're so tiny! Chris, Alexa, Bella, Grace. I remember these guys. I guess they don't do it anymore. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but let me see this. Yeah, no, not at all. All the posts from The Voice Kids Australia are like old. I actually have not seen this, oh my god. I've not seen this Instagram account, so I can't even look at it right now, but yeah. Let's move on. What makes Lilo Olivia Swinton Lilo Olivia Swinton? Hi, it's editor Lilo. It's been a couple days and I've been editing this video, and this question seemed particularly important to answer correctly. First of all, I just wanted to say that making music is usually a personal thing. Everybody writes to express their own stories and experiences, and I am no different. Throughout my whole life there have been many ups and downs, and when the downs were really down, I was drawn to music. Every time I started to cry, I'd pick up the guitar and start singing and writing, and obviously I still do that. And even when I felt an immense amount of joy or any strong emotion, I just had to channel it into music. So for me, music is like a medicine. Through my songwriting, I hope that when you're feeling down, that my music can act as some sort of healing property for you too, emotionally. I also think it's about connection. I love when people tell me that they were inspired by my songs. If you were to play my music, I imagine that you're having like a beach day with your best friends and the sun setting, and it's the perfect time to have those deep conversations. So it's happy, but it's also melancholy. Throughout my life, I've been inspired by artists like Dodie, Lizzie McAlpine, Billie Eilish, Biba Doobie, Cave Town, and so many more. That kind of gives you the gist of it. I hope this inspires you to check out my other social platforms so you can get a better idea of who I am as an artist and my sound as a musician. And I hope that next time you're feeling low, this inspires you to try to write a song, because emotions are so special and so powerful. Don't ever let anyone make you feel like expressing yourself through your art is a bad thing. Unless you're doing something like crazy and illegal, which I seriously doubt you're gonna do. Please don't prove me wrong. Also, I have a bit of a cold, if you've noticed. Back to the more healthy and also really pretty version of myself. Let's go. Yeah, Lilo is just whatever I want it to be. I also think I want to try and be somebody that helps people and is a positive influence, because I've been reading the comments on the last video, and there have been a lot of people saying that they tried singing lessons or they really want to go on The Voice because of that video and have been wanting to since they were a kid. Reading those comments genuinely made me cry. I didn't realize I was doing what I've been trying to do for the past 10 years or whatever. Thank you for that so much. Somebody said, do you plan on releasing music soon? I kind of already answered that question, but I do have a song out today. It's called Picture Mary. So yes, very soon. And then I also have a couple other songs that are probably gonna come out in March. Look out for those, and hopefully you enjoy them. And when will you bring your tour to Nashville so that I can finally see your show live? This is a funny comment because I've never toured my music before. I've never had a big enough audience to do that. I do gigs, I perform at venues or house shows. My biggest dream is to be able to tour. I really want to go to Nashville. I know that that is a hub for a lot of songwriters, producers, singers. What's some random weird information about you? One is that I love Dungeons and Dragons. It's fantasy related and I love fantasy, so I'm gonna show you some of my dice. These are my ducky dice. Can you see that? These are all of my duck dice. I also have a collection of the Adventure Zone comic books, which are a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. These are all by the McElroy brothers. I think I have all of them so far. If this was a TV show, guys, I know it would blow up because the story is so unique. It's awesome. I love it. Unfortunately, I am a nerd, so yeah. Let's continue. Do you want to go on The Voice again? I would say I'm not actively trying to go on The Voice again, but if the opportunity presented itself, I would do it. Likely not though, so don't get your hopes up. I'm already releasing music and performing live, and I hope I can just continue to do that. After you got all three, what did you do? They paint the picture that Delta Goodrum, or the coach that you pick, is going to be vocal training with you and going through the songs with you. In reality, you kind of just get sent a demo of the part you're gonna sing. 3 people are singing or more sometimes, because we had Anthony and Tamara on our team, So actually we had 4 people singing. I got my part and then I just had to practice it by myself. They did do one filming day where we went in for like 20 minutes, sang through this song, and Delta was there with the piano. I think it was just to be like, oh look, she's teaching them or coaching them or whatever. But honestly, it was very like, you have to do it yourself. To be fair, I did not get into the finals of the show. Maybe when you get further along, you have more one-on-one time with the coach, I'm not sure. Somebody was saying that they love the battle round video. It was definitely fun. I think if I was going to react to that, I would love to have Alexa, Anthony, and Tamara on the video. That would be so fun. I think it would be hilarious. So guys, if you're watching this, take it as an invitation. We could totally film together. You guys kind of blew up the video, so now it has 1,000 likes, which is the goal I set, which I genuinely didn't think I was going to be able to reach. So now I'm gonna take the time to film the raw cover, just so you guys can compare 10-year-old me's voice with current me's voice. Hopefully I've improved. Emily wanted to know how I met Millie and where she's from and where she did treatment. I find it really hard to talk about just because it's really sad. And she was very, very young. But we actually met in Oxford in England. My dad and her dad were both studying at Oxford doing MBAs. Both our families went to church together, and both our families were like the only families that had kids and were attending school also. I think there were a couple other people that had kids, but the pool was very small, so they just ended up getting along because they were both Americans, they both went to church, and they both had kids. I remember going to Millie's place and her dad was telling her she needed to clean her room, and she was like, no. So that is a funny memory I have. After our dads graduated, my family went to Australia and her family went back to America, where her parents are from. A year later, she got diagnosed and she fought cancer, I think for 4 years. I remember my mom would keep up with her mom's blogs and she would update friends and families about Millie's progress with chemo, and at one point she actually did ring the bell, which is when you beat cancer, you get to ring the bell. But then the cancer came back and she had to do a bone marrow transplant. If you don't know what that is, there are stem cells in your bones. That's the marrow inside of the bone. And it can be replaced with other cells. So let's say it's damaged or from the chemo or from the cancer, you need to find a match. You can find a donor. So let's say you have healthy blood stem cells, you can donate them to kids with cancer. I just Googled it because I actually don't know where you can donate, but I'm looking at NMDP right now as one of them. But yeah, another thing you can always do, which I said in the last video, is go to the Millie Princess Foundation fundraisers. They do princess balls and there's always a run in June, I believe. But yeah, it's just really sad. Millie unfortunately did not have a donor that had an exact match, so they had to pick someone that had a close match to hers. And the cancer took over the new cells and then she passed away. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I think it's important to talk about because despite it being really, really sad, there are families out there that really need support, whether that be financial, medical, emotional, mental. And I've been reading the comments on the last video and I know some of you have been talking about your own experiences with cancer. It's really hard to move on from that topic, but let's try. Your accent sounds interesting. What kind of mix is that? So, having American parents, I picked up their accent when I was little, even though I had lived abroad my whole childhood. And it kind of mixed with the Australian influence as well as the British influence, because currently my family lives in London. I did high school in London. I've been studying in Boston for 3 years, so I think as the longer I stay here, the more American my accent sounds. I don't know what to call it. My roommate says it's transatlantic. Transatlantic means like British and American mix, but like it's not fully transatlantic because there's still some Australian influence, but ironically I feel like there's less Australian than there is American and British. When I'm older, I hope I can move back to Australia because that is one of my favorite places in the world, and it's beautiful. I love so much about it, and I loved my childhood there, so I feel like I have 3 different homes. Did they recommend an audition song for you to sing, or did you get to pick? I actually picked Raw the year that it came out, so a lot of girls were singing that song as their audition song. I feel lucky that I was able to do it for the actual performance. It was a very popular song, so to answer your question, no, they don't tell you what to audition with when you first audition, when you send in your video submission, or when you go in person before they air it on TV. But once they've casted you and you know you're gonna be filmed to be on air, they absolutely will pick your song for you. Somehow I ended up with the song that I auditioned with originally, so that was cool. Some kids got handed other songs, so yeah. What was it like singing stuff with Alexa, Anthony, and Tamara? Do y'all still talk? So after The Voice, I kind of kept in touch with Alexa because we were friends, but then I moved away, so I didn't end up making like long-lasting connections with any of them. Me and Anthony did go to a music camp together later on, maybe when I was like 12, so we did become friends then. We had like a friend group. Yeah, I mean, I still have the contacts, social medias. I love to see Alexa's videos come up on my TikTok, and we like to comment on each other's posts and support each other, so we're more like acquaintances, but I feel like the opportunity to get to know each other again will probably present itself in the future. I would look forward to that because I'm sure we've all changed dramatically. Yeah, somebody else asked, do you keep in touch with anyone still? Keep in touch with? I kind of just follow everyone online and comment. Fletcher is one that I really like seeing stuff from, and Chris Lanzon, because I love their music and I listen to it. Also Jazzy's really cool, like, okay, Jack Lyle and Alexa, like I mentioned before. Off the top of my head, those are the people I'm thinking of. It's pretty cool. Okay, those were all the questions that I had collected for today. If you want more, I could do another video like this, but it did get a bit emotional for me, so maybe not. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day, because I'm filming this on Valentine's Day, and enjoy my new song. Let me know what you think of it. I seriously feel so very lucky, and man, I'm just so grateful. Thank you for everything. I'll be able to upload some stuff non-related to The Voice in the future. And hopefully I can collab with some other artists. So if you're an artist and you're looking for someone to make some music with or make a video with, or you're a YouTuber or whatever, here I am, and I'm happy to work with you. Yeah, once again, I'm just gonna say, go check out Millie's Princess Foundation. The link is in the bio. And don't forget to remind the people that you love them on this special Valentine's Day. So, thank you. Also look out for the video where I sing Roar, because I'm gonna be doing that soon. Just for you. I'm doing it just for you. Because honestly, I've heard that song so many times in my life that I don't really need to hear it again. But goodbye. See you later.